like sports, for instance. You know, like when that orange team beats up on that red team. So I've already got a comment from one of the guests here tonight. But some of that good stuff you like to watch, right? Now stay with me. You know, baseball, golf. What about music? I mean, it was like music. Oh, music. So sports, music, football, basketball. Some of you probably like. Hey, brother, I was hoping Brother Billy would be here tonight because I was going to tell him I even liked pitching washers when I was growing up kids. We used to pitch. I bet Brother Billy used to pitch some washers. Nah, I figured it.
So you don't remember what's line, whose line or whatever, but you remember pitching washers? Come on, Anthony. That dog won't hunt.
We'll have crowd comments later. What about other things? Like you mentioned music. What about art? You know, literature. Some of you probably like a lot of things like that you know may not be my particular thing. You know. But they're great writers. I know, like Miss Sylvia, I know she likes to read books and poetry. Brother Jimmy likes history. He likes studying history books and things like that. So, and let's don't forget about mine and Marty's favorites, you know, hunting and fishing.
I like hunting.
Don't forget that.
I like those too.
There you go.
I like
so.
Bill Dance was mine. But...
So some of you may like these things: arts and crafts, woodworking, knitting. Miss Mars liked to knit, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm.
She knits a lot of things. A lot of things that you know. What's your line? You know, you may have others as well. What are your y'all? Any of y'all have any other favorites that I didn't mention? Some other things that you really like to do? Sit and recline. That's one thing. Watch TV, read a book. Yeah, there you go. Hallmark shows. A lot of things. She likes to sew. Miss Geraldine likes to sew. See, there's a lot of things that maybe I won't do what y'all do. You like, you know, y'all wouldn't want to do some things I do, but they're out there, right? Killing squirrel. There you go.
I like that.
So what are your favorites? What's your line? You know, I've been on many lines in my lifetime: hunting and fishing, baseball, softball, golf, tennis, triathlon. You know, I like to race a garden. I like to do that. Now art isn't really one of my big things, but I recognize art, and I really enjoy seeing things that I can't do. You know, and I can certainly see why people could really get into art. When I was, y'all probably don't know this, when I was I think I was around 14 years old, I went on a student tour trip and toured Europe. You didn't know that, did you? I flew out of Memphis to landed in JFK Airport, New York. Flew out of there on one of those big DC-10 planes or something like that, you know. Flew over the big pond, they call it, you know. Flew right by that Statue of Liberty, looked down at it. And we landed in Amsterdam, Holland. The main thing I remember about Amsterdam, you got over in Holland, was all this fields there with like thousands of acres of fields of tulips. Beautiful, all different colors. You just can't imagine. I mean, it was beautiful. And then the fun started. We got on a bus, you know, and went through the whole trip. The rest of the trip pretty much went on that bus. We left Amsterdam, went through the Swiss Alps, those beautiful snow-capped Swiss Alps, those streams running down the side of the road. It was really remarkable. And if you ever seen that, I thought it was in Italy, but I think it's in Lucerne, maybe Switzerland. You've seen that statue. Picture that statue of that lion that's been killed and stabbed through the heart with that spike. You know, he's thinking that the beauty of it is the expression on his face as he's dying. You know, and I saw that, a beautiful piece of carving. You know, but we went on down through Germany, and there were, believe it or not, there were still some old war relics sitting around out in the fields. You could see some. I can't remember if it's like artillery or tanks or what, but you could see some stuff still sitting around out there even then from World War II. And so went through Germany, went down into Italy, and got to Rome, y'all. And I remember driving by that old Roman Colosseum and seeing that thing sitting down there. And the highlight of the tour, the whole thing, was got to St. Peter's Basilica. And yeah, I got to go into the Sistine Chapel. And I looked up at that big dome ceiling, and man, you talking about, and I was just a kid, but you look up that and you think, wow. And all the years since, I thought, how did Michelangelo do that? You know, the image of God and reaching out that fingertip, touching at them and bringing life, and all the pictures that he drew of the angels and the cherubs and different things. It was just unreal, you know. So I can see why people really could get into that kind of art, you know, and enjoy that. But that was the highlight of it. We went on up through back into France. Went to Paris. So yeah, I think we went up first level Eiffel Tower and saw the Arch of Triumph, and then we hopped on one of those pole jumpers and went over to flew the English Channel back over to London. I know we saw one changing of the guard, and I remember going by Big Ben. That's about all I can remember from back then. Just the big things, you know, that a 14-year-old might remember. And wound up flying back up to Amsterdam, back over to New York, and back to Memphis. So that was it's a lot of things that, the point of it is you see things that are remarkable, that people that have talents that can do things like that, you know. It's just really unbelievable and what they can do. So we have a lot of lines that we can be on in life, don't we? We didn't all. How did all it come to be? You know, when you think about it, what we just talked about. You know, we say that God gives us all of our talents, right? We always say, Brother Jimmy, how many times is everybody's got a talent, right? Got an ability to do something, right? Well, so God gave all these great talents to a lot of people. These great athletes, artists, writers, whatever it is, you know. God gave them that talent, didn't He? He gave them the talent most of us don't have. You know, we don't have that kind of great talent, ability to do some of the things we see people do. You know, but God gave it to them, didn't He? Where else did they get it? God gave it to them to use, right? Yeah. So He gave it to others, but by just watching and listening look at their work, we benefit greatly by choosing our line to sit back and enjoying the fruits of their labor, right? It's by seeing what they do. Enjoy that orange team beating up on that red team. You can enjoy looking at all this great artwork and things, and all the ball games and things like that. You know, we can spend hours and days, weeks, months, years, right there on our line, right? Is that right? We can do that all this time. God made it possible, so surely He wants us to enjoy it, right? If He hadn't wanted us to enjoy it, He could have made everyone the same talent and ability that I got. You know what I mean? Sylvia, what if you turned on here coming up in October to watch that big orange team and red team, and you started looking, and you didn't see a quarterback drop back and throw a 60-yard rope pass down there and hit a receiver? And you didn't see a running back run through the line going a 4.40 pace and run that ball in. So you didn't see none of that. You didn't see a guy drop back and punt that ball about 55 yards downfield. You didn't. You know why? Because God made everybody like me. I couldn't do none of that. Not possible. I couldn't paint that ceiling on that Sistine Chapel. Brother Jimmy, if you turn on the Cardinals game, and if you're watching, if you turn on the Cardinals and you saw some guy out there on the mountain, he looked kind of familiar, and the first pitch he threw up there was about 65 miles an hour, 60 maybe. And whoever the batter was, it didn't matter. He couldn't hit it must pass the infield about mid outfield, so he couldn't hit it the warning track. You know, because I never could hit a ball that far. I couldn't throw a ball 100 mile an hour. You see what I'm getting at? Let's think about it, you know. How would that be if everybody had no more talent and ability than just a common, ordinary guy? You know? And Jimmy's not here. I was going to point this at Jimmy. You tell him. What if Jimmy got in his car and riding down the road and he had a new CD there? It was supposed to be one of those good bluegrass gospels. And he stuck that thing in there and it started playing. And some guy sounded just playing about like me, strumming my guitar and singing. And Deborah, don't you say a word. Jimmy, you know, he'd throw that thing out the window so fast, you know, boom, it'd be gone, wouldn't it?
Or if it sounded like today's country.
Yeah, I'd throw that out real quick too. So surely God wants us to enjoy all these things that we enjoy, right?
It'd be a dull world if everybody.
Yeah, wouldn't it though? That's what I'm getting at.
Jimmy's thing is always, if we were all alike, we'd be but one slave or vice
There
versa.
you go. But let's think about it for just a minute. That brings me to question number 2. Brother Jimmy, are you listening? Question number 2. Where do we draw the line? And you're thinking, draw a line? What, we got to have a line? Well, God gave us all these lines for us to enjoy. But doesn't He want us to spend some time with Him also? To do some things for Him? Uh-oh. Does that mean that we can't watch the Cardinals and the Yankees, Brother Jimmy? Marty, do we not get to go fishing as much?
Did you put that before Christ? It's a no-no.
Oh, are you trying to put words in my mouth? Surely we can still watch the big orange crush come down on the right on top of that red team, can't we?
But not instead of studying your Sunday school lesson, you haven't studied it yet.
Stay home from church.
Not to stay home from church to do it, that's right.
Surely Jimmy can still listen to that great bluegrass music. So, Brother Jimmy, where do we draw the line? That's your question number 2, Brother Jimmy. Where do we draw the line? Now, this leads me to my last question. And that last question, Brother Jimmy, is, have we crossed the line? Have we crossed the line? Have we sometimes gone too far on our lines that we like and enjoy so much? And I can answer that one for me. Y'all answer for yourself. And I can answer for myself. You know, I've had many lines, many things I've enjoyed in my life, participated in, and regretfully, yes, I have crossed the line more than I should have. There's no doubt. God forgive me. Brother Jimmy spoke many times about making idols, putting too much into something other than God. And you know, I used to think that a long time in my life, I used to think an idol, all an idol was a clump of stone, or you know, some gold statue somebody made to worship. And I never ever would have thought I ever did anything like that. But many times I never thought either about some things I was doing, enjoy these things of life that God gave us. So, Brother Jimmy, have we crossed the line? I just got one more thing, y'all. Y'all can comment if you want to here. Let me see. Here, I think. I'm going to read Exodus 20, chapter 21 through 17. Y'all know what that is. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, or serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy to thousands of them that love me, and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. For the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God, and it thou shalt not do any work. Thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, a manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them, all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day. Hallelujah. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. All right, y'all. If y'all got anything you want to say about this tonight, or anything you want to add? If not, then I guess we're not staying. I'll ask Brother Terry, you want to dismiss us? I guess. But y'all got anything else you want to add, or any more prayer requests?
Right. Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord, for another opportunity, Lord. Come to your house, Lord, and lift up all these requests, Lord. Give the all healing. We, Lord, ask you to heal everyone, Lord, who's sick. Lord, they're homebound and just can't get out, Lord. We ask you to keep your hands upon them, Lord, and keep your hands upon this church. We thank you, Lord, for all you do for us, Lord. We ask you to forgive us for our shortcomings. Lord, just keep us in your hands and in your arms until we get to the point that we come back. Study your word